What's up, bike fans? This is Kaz, and welcome to Everything R6. In this video, I'll be doing an exhaust upgrade. I'll be removing the stock canister and installing a TOCE double down slip-on. I'll also be removing the servo and installing a Graves Servo eliminator. That ought to take care of engine codes 17 and 18. At the end of the video, I'll be doing an exhaust note comparison between the stock canister and the TOCE double down slip-on. So stay tuned for that, and without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we are going to be turning this into this. And I gotta tell you guys right off the bat, got some terrific craftsmanship here. This thing is awesome looking. So I already checked it out. There's no dings, no dents. Everything looks pimp. Sorry about the focus there. TOCE double down, and it's so much lighter than I thought it was gonna be. This thing is like a feather, man. So there's three main reasons why you would do an exhaust upgrade. Number one is aesthetics. So that's going to look a lot better than a stock exhaust. Two is performance. And the third one that a lot of people don't think about is safety. One thing you got to realize with the stock exhaust is it's very quiet. So a lot of the times when you're in traffic, the people around you don't even know that you're there. They can't hear your exhaust. So when you upgrade to a louder exhaust, that's actually going to increase your safety, because other people in other cars are going to be able to hear you. They'll know a biker is around and they'll look for you. And that's one of the best ways to stay safe, is basically that people know that you're there. So we'll be putting this guy on, and then we will also be putting this guy on, because we're going to get rid of that servo. And I actually have been looking at it. I don't quite know how I'm going to get to that thing just yet, but I'll figure it out. I always do. When I come across something to point it out to you guys, I will definitely point it out to you. Okay, so we got up to this point here. I got that small little heat shield off. Retainer clamp is off. Loosened up the cables for the exit valve. And she's actually pretty loose already. Just need to hit that bolt right there, and the exhaust, the stock exhaust, should come right out. Alright, the stock exhaust has been removed. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Do believe I have to get that guy out of there. And oh my god, you guys, that thing weighs a ton compared to the TOCE, like I was saying earlier. So there's part of your performance upgrade. Yeah, that's gonna be sweet. I wanted to stop at this point and show you guys this. So this, that was funny. That retainer clip, which I just took off, this was behind here, using this small 9mm bolt right there. So it took a little bit of finagling, but I got it out there. So those are ready to come out. So be very careful of these other wires when you're doing this. You don't want to pull on these guys. Alright. So now we venture up there. If it'll focus. Get that guy out. Let's continue. Okay, so just to show you guys what I did with that clip, I went ahead and routed the other wires into it just to make use out of it because they weren't in there before. It was just the X-up cables. So I went ahead and put these two. I guess that goes, one of those goes to, I guess, the O2 sensor here. Focus. Wow, really? Thank you. I'll probably cut that out. Okay, so yeah. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. So at least it's got a function now. Alright guys, so I seem to be having some trouble with these guys here. The exhaust came off like in 2 seconds. This is a whole nother beast altogether, and I was kind of wondering why I didn't find any videos of anybody taking this off. And here's why. And you can see it moving around in there. Can you see it moving around in there? Right there? Like right there. You kind of see it there. Right here. So there's your servo right there. Under the beep tank. So I actually have to take the damn tank off to get to that servo. I can't take it out from the battery side because there's a plastic bracket there's this plastic bracket right here. You can't see it at all, but it's part of the entire thing on the bottom there. It does not come off. So the only way for that servo to go is straight up, which would be through the tank. There it is right there. That's where my X-up plug would go into. Oh man. So yeah. Alright, so we start by taking these guys off. And there's just one bolt, and then it slides backwards. And then we're gonna have to hit this bolt here. One on each side. This top bolt here. And then we can actually angle the tank up. Hopefully we got enough room at that point to go after that servo down in there. Wish me luck. Okay guys, I got some progress here. This wasn't supposed to be a how-to video. But anyway, I figure I'm doing it. I didn't see any other videos on how to do this online, so this will be one for you guys to follow, I guess, if you want to give it a shot. Definitely, if you haven't wrenched on your bike before, don't know too much about how to wrench on things, then I wouldn't suggest trying this, because you kind of got to know what you're doing, you know, and I'm going off of past experience. So if you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. But basically, I didn't have to take the tank all the way off. I got all these loose. All the mounting points are loose. And I actually took the swivel bracket off. I don't know if that's what you call it, but it's a bracket and it swivels. So, you know, it is what it is. So now I have, I believe, enough play on the tank where I can actually get to that now. So now I should be able to get to that servo. So there is these two plastic Phillips right here. That's that small guy right there. And then 4 hex bolts on each side. Came right off. Okay, back to work. Okay, so I just wanted to show this to you guys right here. So now I am able to get to the servo no problem. I got my practice samurai sword there holding it up. So there is quite a bit of play, but you know, be very, very careful when doing something like this, guys. You want to make sure you do not stress any of the connections under the tank. I made sure there was still plenty of play for how high I lifted it. None of the connection points are under too much stress. There's still a lot of play in there, so I'm not worried about it at all. Alright, so now the challenge. So there you go, it's very sufficient play now, so I can get that servo out. This is ridiculous. I had no idea I had to do all this. Anyway, I hope this video is going to help you guys out. Okay, so as I was starting to say, the challenge now is to get that connector out and then pop out this servo. Then our X-Up buddy will go right into that guy, and I can start putting this all back together. Okay, continuing on. Oh man, this is the fun of wrenching on your own stuff. Alright guys, mission successful. There is my servo cables. I went ahead and took out this retainer ring as well. Sacrificed a little bit of skin there that I won't focus on. Need to give me a better camera. This phone camera is not going to cut it for these videos, I tell you. Let me get my practice samurai sword out the way. And hold on a sec, let me grab the flashlight. Okay, and there we are. That's the gap left over. So there's my plug that I need to plug the buddy into. I'm all winded now. So one more warning with the tank. When you're lowering it back down from that position, you definitely want to make sure nothing is in the way. You don't want to pinch nothing as you're coming back down. You don't want to get anything caught under the tank. You're going to have some major issues. So just go real slow, check both sides as you're lowering it, make sure that you're all good, and I'm pretty sure I'm all good. You can also do like a small test where you can just lift each side, kind of look underneath, see if everything has enough play. And I think I'm pretty good. Everything's sitting back nicely. So I'll go ahead and get that servo buddy in there and then put all my mounting brackets, mounting bolts back on. And then we can continue. All right. Okay, so I got the tank back on. I got my servo buddy in there. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's super easy. The buddy only goes in one way, so you know, no need to show you that. It did come with double-sided tape for mounting. So I just kind of put it on this plastic bracket right here. You can't. There you go. You can kind of see it right there. It's a square thing. So it's severely not really that secure, but I mean it's, you know, it's super light. It's not going to be bouncing around or anything. So when you do put these mounting bolts back in, just make sure everything's loose first before you start tightening stuff down. You don't want to tighten something down over here and then the front doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Just make sure everything goes in nice and easy. You definitely don't want to strip out anything. Once again, make sure you don't get any hoses caught or anything like that. So everything went back on pretty easy. Pretty sure I didn't strip any bolts. Also, when you torque it, you want to use like a, what is called cross torquing or star torquing. So you pretty much like, you torque this one, then you torque this one, then you torque this one, then you torque that one, right? That kind of stuff. Alright, so we'll get the rest of this back on, and then we can actually put the exhaust on after that. Alright, so there we are. Tank is back on, sides are back on, seat back on. Got that clip back around these guys. And there is your weight drop right there. So now I can get to the topping of the cake, or the cream of the cappuccino. I'm getting all delirious. So we'll put that TOCE exhaust on, and then we'll start her up, see how she sounds. Alright, continuing on. Okay guys, so all done, there she is. TOCE slip-on exhaust is on there. And the aesthetics is very pleasing. Much better than that giant canister that was on there earlier. It's about 7 right now, so the whole process took me just about 2 hours, maybe a little more than 2 hours. Of course, a lot of that was trying to figure out how in the hell I was going to get to that servo motor. So one last thing, when you're all cleaned up, you want to do a FOD check. For those of you who don't know, FOD is foreign object damage. Make sure you didn't leave anything on the ground that is actually supposed to be on your bike. Okay, so I think we're ready for startup. We can see how this TOCE exhaust sounds compared to stock. Okay, so stock exhaust sound, take 1. It might be a little extra louder. Might be a little extra loud here in my garage. Alright, so a pretty decent exhaust note. It is kind of hollow sounding. It's pretty good for a stock exhaust, but as you can tell, it's kind of soft. So, yeah, time to get to work. Alrighty, moment of truth. Alright guys, so that definitely looks and sounds a lot better than the stock exhaust. I have to admit, I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds, much deeper. Very much improved over stock exhaust. You saw me check the engine light, it didn't come on, so it looks like the Servo Buddy is doing its job. So I guess that's about it for the video there. Tell me what you guys think about the way it looks and the way it sounds down in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like button for this video if you liked it, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe. Right on guys, y'all take care of yourself. This is Kaz, signing out.